Mgeni wetu ameshafika ndani ya studio zetu asubuhi ya leo. Tuko naye wakili Joshua Nyamori, ni wakili wa the High Court. Tutakuwa tunazungumza mengi tu, lakini kabla hapo, karibu sana wakili. Good morning. Karibu sana ndani ya studio zetu asubuhi ya leo.
Asanteni sana, nimefurahi kuja leo kukutana na nyinyi na kuongea na wananchi.
Na wakili, nafikiri tutaanza na kwamba you've been very vocal of late wakili. Uko na mpango 2027?
2027 wananchi ndio wanaweza kuwa na mpango na mimi.
Okay. Hawajakwambia bado? Hawajakwambia ama huja identify bado?
Wananchi wanaongea.
Wanasemaje?
Wananiambia niangalie kitu Kisumu.
Kitu Kisumu.
Nawasikiza.
Governor, senator.
Bado nataka ni waamue, because I'm qualified for all those positions.
Okay.
Hata wakiniambia niende nikuwe a sweeper in a toilet, so long as I'm serving the people.
Umejibu politically wakili. Umejibu politically wakili.
Wata nieleza, bado nafanya consultations.
Unafanya consultations,
and you know, we need to I need to take this opportunity to pass my condolence kwa familia ya baba. But even as I do that, baba alitufundisha kufanya consultations. Okay. Nakumbuka akitoka Addis, ilibidi afanye consultation before akubali mambo ya broad based.
Okay. So unajipanga Kisumu. Ukisha decide wakili, tutakuja tuzungumzie hapa, tuangalie sera ambazo unasimamia ni nini. Na speaking of baba wakili, he's not there anymore. So Kisumu utaanguka, hauna blessings za baba wakili.
Unajua baba did his part.
Okay.
Na alimaliza. Okay. Chenye imebaki ni yetu kama wananchi. Okay. Na baba alitufunza, alitutrain, alimenta watu wengi. Okay. Mimi ni mmoja wao. Nilianza kufanya na baba 1996 na nilifanya naye very closely throughout Students Union. Kuja nikafanya kama youth wake mpaka 1998. So I believe I'm a mentor. Yes.
So you're good without baba?
Baba is in each and every one of us. Okay. Na baba pia alituacha. You know, alicreate a bridge na katuambia tupite hiyo bridge. Ame demise at in the middle of the bridge. Na hiyo bridge ilikuwa inatueleka kwa William Samoei Ruto. So baba yuko, lakini wazungu husema the king is dead, long live the king.
Alright. Na wakili, walisema ya kwamba kuna karia nyingi sana ambazo zilikufa mainman Rio, zilikufa India, zikaja zikazikwa Bondo, Kango, Kajaramogi.
Hao ni watu wenye walikuwa wamezoea baba kubeba mkono yao. Okay. Yes, but for them, naweza waambia waanze kuplan their retirement. Because wananchi watakuwa na opportunity to make a choice. Yes.
Kwa hivyo ukisema ya kwamba kuna baadhi ya wanasiasa ambao karia zao zinaenda kufifia, unamaanisha kusema kwamba chama cha ODM kina baadhi ya viongozi ambao si watenda kazi, ni popularity ndio inaweka pale katika nyadhifa hizo?
Sijaongea juu ya chama. Nimeongea juu ya viongozi.
Ambao ni wa chama kipi sasa?
Umejua chama ODM as a chama, hata mimi nilikuwa ODM. Rally ya kwanza ya where formation of ODM was announced ilikuwa ni 26th of November 2006. Mimi kama chairman wa ODM Kisumu Town West ndio nilimobilize hiyo rally. Baba na wageni wake wote, the luminaries, walikuwa wageni wangu Kisumu. So I understand the manifesto and the principles ya ODM, ya social democracy. Hata kama nilitoka baadaye nikaungana na president, nikakuwa UDA, na mmoja wa president pia tulikuwa naye hapo. So we were all kama haitaanguka. Chama, umejua venye president alisema that ODM will be the government or will be part of the government in 2028. But hapo ODM kuna watu wenye wamekuwa you know, depend on kushika koti ya baba. Okay? Na sasa hawana mtu mwenye atawabeba, mwenye atabeba mikono yao.
Okay.
So hao wataenda nyumbani. Lakini ODM iko na very many young vibrant people.
Okay.
Yes, na ndio sababu ukienda kwa my Facebook page leo
nimeiona
wamekuwa wakiambia president that we don't have a 2027 deal. Nini. Sisi tunaambia president, Your Excellency, come straight to the people, directly to the people. Raila had created the bridge. Please cross it without fear. Yeah.
Okay.
When you wanamwambia asikuje kwa wananchi directly, when you wanamwambia siji they have to sit down to negotiate 2027 are brokers.
Okay.
Ni kama wale brokers who are protecting the bridge where they are collecting toll.
So mko na deal na president mpaka 2027 ama past 2027?
Sisi kama watu wa the Lake region.
Yes.
Raila Amolo Odinga.
Yes.
Aliaga akatuacha kwa mikono ya
William Ruto.
Yes. I do not know what they discuss here in Nairobi. Lakini mimi nimejua kwamba the last funeral yenye Raila aliattend ilikuwa ni funeral ya Fibiasio, mama Fibiasio. Na hapo aliuliza kwani nani aliwaambia ati tutakuwa pamoja 2028? Tutakuwa hapa. Nyinyi kujeni na sera yenu, sisi tukuje na yetu. Okay? Na so tuambia kwamba we will be part of government.
Okay.
And I can assure you that the Luo region will be part of government.
Right.
Yeah, there is no doubt about that.
Labda nimeangalia gazeti la Daily Nation pale. Kufikia sasa naona ni mipango ya mikataba na maelewano. Kuna statement pale ya Oburu Odinga nasema it's DP or nothing. Sijui kama umeipata hiyo statement pale ya kwamba it's DP or nothing.
Deputy President
or nothing. With such a statement,
you know, you have to look at and I respect Dr. Oburu Odinga. Okay? Kwa rafiki ya baba yangu na one of the sharpest brains yenye wako ODM na from our region. The guy had a PhD in the early 1970s, okay, in economics. So I believe akona capacity to lead ODM. But you must assess Dr. Buru before the demise of Raila and Dr. Buru now. Okay? Before the demise of Raila, you can remember Dr. Buru was very clear that he will support President William Ruto. Okay? And in fact sisi huko Nyanza sisi usema hii broad base ilikuwa ni ya Dr. Buru. Saa zingine hata kama ulikuwa naona Raila akibalance between wale wanataka na wale wataki, Dr. Buru was very clear. Na unakumbuka Dr. Buru akiambia tell off Sifuna. Okay? However, umejua even that time Raila akiongea na sisi kama watu wa Lake region, it was very clear tuko broad based government to stay, lakini akiwa as a party leader ya ODM he had to balance interests. Okay? Now Dr. Buru Odinga is in such a situation. He has inherited a new seat. There were conflicts of opinion and there were a minority group wenye walikuwa naona ati they are being harassed out of the party. So as a party leader he must make them comfortable. So my thinking is that Dr. Buru is basically just managing. Just managing you know, the various views within the party. But I know the deep inside his soul he knows that he will work with Dr. William Samoei Ruto. And as a party they must negotiate. Okay? Na sisi ndio sababu sisi kama supporters wa William Ruto who are also supporters wa baba who are not in ODM tunaambia you know, Dr. William Ruto kuja directly to the people. Okay? Because ODM says they want to build their party. Dr. William Ruto pia kuna structures mpaka grassroots Nyanza. And then after that tutajipima you know, our strengths na then tutakubaliana. Sio ni shida hapo.
Wakili, this is your party, right? ODM is your party.
My party is UDA.
Your party is UDA.
I was in ODM until 2011.
What happened? Okay.
Unajua nini
keeping in mind wakili ya kwamba you come from the Lake region.
Yes.
Would expect kwamba chama ni ODM.
Yes.
Lakini unajua sisi kama watu wa Lake region, we for 300 and so years we have lived along rivers and lakes.
Yeah.
And in rivers and lake, river ina flow, saa zingine inapata tributaries, saa zingine it separates into various rivers, and then uko mbele zina join. Okay? Alafu ikifika lake, they all join and they become one big lake. Okay? So lakini ni ile maji tu.
Okay.
So ukiona blood yetu, blood ya William Ruto, blood ya Joshua Nyamori, na people in both parties, utapata they are still dribbling social democracy. That was the ideology that we are pursuing.
Yes.
Lakini sometimes within a party munaweza kosana hapa na pale. Okay? Na some of us we had to move out because of our gatekeepers. Wenye unasikia saa hizi wakisema lazima tukae chini tuongee. Okay? So tulipata space huku kwa President William Ruto, but we still believe in the ideology ya ODM. That is why it is very easy tukae chini tuongee na watu wa ODM.
All right.
Okay? Yeah.
So, kuna rafiki yangu anasema Zuli, msalimie sana wakili Nyamori, mwambie UDA Kisumu ni kama kuuza nguruwe Maka.
Most likely utapata nimefanya siasa Kisumu kuliko huyo rafiki yake. Rafiki yako. Nilianza kufanya siasa.
Unauza nguruwe Maka, wakili?
Mimi nilianza kufanya siasa Kisumu nikiwa secondary school. And I've been active since 1992.
Okay.
Very active in politics, so I understand it very well.
Yes.
I regularly do activities at UDA in Kisumu. Sijai pata any problem.
Okay.
Yes, and right now it is not about UDA and ODM. President alisema akiwa Migori sometimes back that ODM and UDA are not in competition.
Okay.
We are in a cooperation. That is why sisi kama watu wa UDA, on the advice of the president, tuliamua kwamba although we had a very strong grassroots network in Kasipul na Ugunja, that atusimamishi candidates so that to support our ODM. Yeah. Na hao pia wakasema awasimamishi our candidates in Malava.
All right.
Okay? Yeah, so ningemwambia huyo rafiki yako kwamba sisi ni partners.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So your partners.
Your partners indeed.
Exactly.
Labda tukiangalia katika masuala mengine, Zuli, gazeti la The Standard pale
kwenye ukurasa wa kwanza, na wakili uko na nakala yako hapo.
Masuala ambayo yanafanyika kwa Tanzania 255. Masuala ambayo yanafanyika Tanzania, wakili, kufikia sasa idadi ya ambao wameaga dunia ni wengi. Jambo ambalo hatukutarajia kama Tanzania lingeweza kufika katika kiwango kama hichi. Kufikia leo Samia Suluhu ndio atakuwa rais, ataapishwa ka rais, lakini vile vile pia Watanzania hawajaridhika na haya maswala. Uongozi wa Afrika, wengi watasema kwamba ni uongozi wa maguvu. Mama huyu Rais Samia Suluhu alishinda na kura milioni 31. Wakati huo Wakenya wanauliza kura hizi zilihesabiwa vipi na kulikuwa kuna umeme na interneti chini ya masaa 48. Uongozi wa Afrika kwa ujumla, maana sio Tanzania peke yake. Tumeona Cameroon pia hali ni hiyo hiyo.
Cameroon tumeona kwa Paul Biya
hali ni hiyo hiyo. Kufikia sasa ukiona mambo kama haya, as a country, as a nation, as a continent, Africa, where are we heading?
Chenye nafanyika Tanzania is worrying.
Okay.
Is worrying because we have been there. Tulikuwa hapo 2007. Umejua at that time when nimemwambia I was very active in politics. And I was chairman of ODM Kisumu Town West.
Okay.
And umejua Kisumu ilikuwa epicenter post-election crisis. Na watu waliuliwa. We were counting bodies, picking bodies from the streets and counting bodies in the mortuaries. So when I see this, it reminds me of hiyo wakati. Lakini so I would pray that the situation improves. I hope that President wa Tanzania, Madam Suluhu, anaweza consult na the fellow presidents wa East Africa. ili wapate a solution.
Okay.
And you see Kenya is an example, and I hope that what I learned from Kenya, that the winner take it all formula doesn't work in Africa.
Right.
Yeah, it can work in those other countries because their economies and level of poverty and they are very different from us. At least huko people are not struggling for what to eat as the next meal. Unajua hapa Kenya na hata Tanzania and Africa kuna watu wenye saizi ni it's about 8:30 hawajui watakula nini lunch.
Yeah.
Okay, now if they are lucky to get lunch, they will not know what they're going to take for dinner. But huko, their problems in the US and Europe, their problems are what their dogs will eat. And I know that there are certain Kenyans who are at that stage. What am I saying? Nasema kwamba in Africa, we are still at our basics. We are struggling for basics. So because of that, power, because politics is all about deciding who, what, and how of dividing the pie. Okay. So hii mkate ama ugali tutagawa namna gani? That is what politics is. And so because we are still struggling for survival, majority of us, we are willing to die. Okay, so that we get just a grab ya hiyo ugali. So it is important, and then we hero worship our leaders. Leader akituambia twende turushe mawe, twende tupigane na polisi. Okay, and then those in power are also willing to do anything to protect that. So ndio sababu nasema Kenya, Africa must relook at its politics. Tutokee hii politics ya a winner takes it all, and to find a way of even after election, there's a way that people can work together. And Africa, Kenya has set an example. Whenever tumekuwa na change in this country, it is when the main protagonists wamekuja together. Okay, tulipata constitution just because of grand coalition government. And saizi we have been able to have more than almost 1 year of peace now because of the broad-based government. So I appeal to Tanzania, wakae chini. I don't want to say who is wrong and who is right. Definitely, kama a human rights defender, shooting people, killing people is unacceptable. And I'm hoping that investigations will be able to reveal what really happened. Okay, but at the same time, we tell our young people that violence is you can't successfully use violence to overthrow a system that is established. Okay, lazima to train our people on active non-violence. There are other ways where Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King, and people like that used very powerful strategies without using violence. Okay, because otherwise kuambia vijana ati watarushia army mawe. Okay, that they can go and loot property ya watu wengine. It's just inviting them to death. And the other day I was arguing with in another different media house, some human rights activists in Kenya over our Kenyans who were abducted in Uganda. And the Oyo and Bob Njagi are my friends. Tumefanya now activism. And I hope watakuja, they will be found and brought back safe. Lakini niliambia our activists, waache kudanganya vijana. Kampala, Gulu, Dar es Salaam, Arusha, Malakal, Rumbek are not as safe as the streets ya Kisumu, Nairobi, Mombasa.
Is it?
We are ways ahead. Mimi nimefanya in those areas. Okay? In my consultancy work, nimetembea in those areas. And I always give the example, kuna siku I went to do an evaluation for some human rights program in Uganda. So nilikuwa na mikutano Uganda for about 3 days na human rights organization. Alafu nikatoka na gari asubuhi to pick some items. Coming back to the hotel,
Yes.
the receptionist told me at the bank manager, I mean the hotel manager anataka kuniona. Kwenda kwa ofisi ya hotel manager akaniambia, mazee, the LC4 sasa ni kama assistant chief, amekuja hapa. Na amesema nikupeleke kwa ofisi yake. Kwenda huko, akaniambia, you know, the government has been following you since ile siku uliingia border. Na ulikuwa na mkutano Kampala. Sasa umekuja hapa. Tunataka kujua umekuja kufanya nini. What I'm trying to tell those people. Hapa Kenya unaweza kufanya your things freely, no one will know. But in those are police states, all the others. And easy rights zenye tuko nazo hapa haziko huko. People die. Okay? So tusidanganye vijana wetu. Hatunaweza enda Uganda, you can go to Tanzania, you can go to South Sudan, and you do what we do here. We are many years ahead.
Labda kufikia sasa wakili bwana Bob Njagi na Nicholas wako Uganda.
Sasa sijui, siwezi jua, because unakumbuka wakili wa Uganda walifile what is called habeas corpus application. Habeas corpus ni application enye ilianza many years in Europe, where widows, if when their husband used to be disappear na they arrested without following the law na the system, and then the widow would run to the king na aseme king produce order that the police should produce my husband, dead or alive. Okay, so the habeas corpus produce the body, dead or alive. Na so that application ilifanywa Kampala. The judge had it na alisema the state pleaded that hawana Bob, those two, and then out of that, the judge actually made, quite unfortunate, but made a conclusion that you cannot squeeze blood out of the stone. That once serikali imesema hawana hawa watu, there is very little that can be done. But which is true. Once what it is the government has said hawana, and it cannot, you can't prove that wako in the custody of government, then that collapses. So hatujui wako wapi, hatujui kama wako hai, hatujui wako under the custody ya Kenya Ugandan government or individuals. And that is why I hope that Kenya government bado ita work na Uganda government through EACC structures to try and sort out the problem. But then we need to warn our young people. Okay? We need to sidanganye vijana ati wakishapita Busia ama wapite Namanga bata watakuwa safe. Unakumbuka juzi vijana wetu walikuwa na demonstrate kwa border ati wafunguliwa border waende Uganda. Nasikia wengine walienda jana, nilikuwa naona a clip ya Tanzanian police officer saying that wako na information that they are foreigners in Kenya. And I think niliona a report of a Kenyan teacher who was shot. Kuna rafiki yangu, sitaki kutaja jina yake just so that he remains safe, who went for business and they stuck in Tanzania. Alinipigia jana na niambia mazee, hapa ni shida, kuna internet, hii hata hii network tunapata like 30 minutes inapotea tena. Niko na pesa lakini siwezi pata chakula imeisha kwa hoteli. So they are in a dire state. It reminds me of 2008. That is why we need to protect hii nini yetu ya Kenya.
Wakili, kuna wale ambao wanahisi ya kwamba your party leader has failed this country. Wakili, what do you think about that?
In terms of what?
In terms of everything. Your party leader, the president, Dr. William Ruto, has failed the nation, wakili.
Moja hapo ikiwa ni ile cybercrime law ambayo imepitishwa, Kenya wengi hawajaridhika nayo. Moja hapo ya mambo ambayo wakiandalimka nayo.
Okay. One, umejua kwa Kijaluo sisi usema ukitaka kujua length ya mkia ya kondoo, lazima you measure it na length ya mkia ya the kondoo ingine. Okay? Huwezi sema huu kondoo ako na mkia fupi, lakini utuambie ni kondoo gani iko na mkia ndefu. Okay? Now But basically what I'm saying is that we need to look at William Ruto in comparison to the other leaders. That is one. Okay? Look at economic fundamentals. Okay? Zote.
Yes.
Almost in all areas, William Ruto has stabilized the economy. Okay? Dollar imekuwa stable. The cost of living amerudisha chini. Agriculture, tulikuja when he took over, we were actually going hungry. They were looking for maize. Tukona more than enough agricultural production. Employment, there's a big employment problem in Kenya. Na bado itakuwa for a very long time. But at least tukona president mwenye akona a roadmap. And the roadmap, apart from in the agriculture, unaona kama affordable housing, he's saying that over 300,000 Kenyans are working in affordable housing. Now, recently, Ali ordered the Department of Housing to double the shifts so that it could employ almost over 600,000 young people. Na pia akawaambia wa expand internship opportunities. Then you see what amesema juu ya roads, if you go around the country, all road networks are being built. When you look at all these things, President anajaribu. It's only that we were a country under crisis. Na pia when we compare, apart from comparing him to the previous president, we need to compare him to the region. And Kenya has moved from the fifth largest, from the sixth largest country to the fifth largest economy in Africa. And one thing that you must know is that Kenya is the largest non-mineral economy in Africa. Those other four economies that are bigger than Kenya are all mineral economies. Sisi hatuna mineral. So you must judge William Ruto based on that. And then Cybercrime Act that the president is being accused of. That is not a new law. That law ililetwa was enacted in 2018. Yes, there was certain amendments. Like in his amendment, President did not initiate the amendments. The amendments were initiated by a private, members' bill. But Mimi, I've looked at them, and I don't want to get into the legal language. We don't have the time, and it might not be helpful too. But in my view, Mimi wambia watu wa Kenya, they should look at cybercrime kama nyumba yako. Ama kama a mall. You are in a mall. And so if you look at hizo laws zote, they are meant to protect. Not to target. Now why do I say they are meant to protect and not to target? Tukisema that people should not spread false information about. Imagine wewe ukitoka hapa, you have been working since fika kazi saa ngapi?
Saa 9 usiku. Asubuhi dharura.
And then unatoka saa ngapi?
Tutatoka kama saa 6.
Sasa uende mtandaoni upate mtu amespread terrible information about you. Wewe kwa kazi, somebody says some terrible things about you. What do you do? If there is no law, you need to have protection against that person. The system needs, once you complain, the system should be able to bring down that information, and at the same time that person apelekwe kotini na kuwe charged. Ukiwa umeform as a WhatsApp group, and the purpose of that WhatsApp group is to spread false information about people, is to mobilize for war, to mobilize for propaganda against the country. There should be a way of taking action. So cybercrime is just like the normal laws, stealing people from stealing, from spoiling the names of others.
Kuna wale ambao wanahisi wakili ya kwamba hii yote ni kwa ajili ya kujipanga kwa uchaguzi wa 2027. Ya kwamba 2027 ukijaribu tu kufanya kile ambacho utafanya, then wako na wewe wakili.
Sasa tuache kujenga Kenya kwa sababu kuna uchaguzi na kuja. The president does not make laws. the president only assents to laws.
Yes,
okay?
Very true.
Laws zinatengenezwa parliament.
Yes.
Na kuna procedure ya kutengeneza those laws, including public participation.
Yes.
Now, shida it is not even the members of the public who initiate this propaganda. Hizi propaganda zinakuwa initiated na members of the opposition and activists in the civil society. One, members of opposition unapata those MPs who are spreading this propaganda in rallies and roadside stopovers are members of the parliament. What did they say when they were in parliament?
Right.
That's one. Two, our civil society is to mobilize the voices of the people. Okay? During an action, do they give attention to what is happening in parliament so that they can ensure that they give their views and they mobilize people to give their views? Hatuwezi kuwa tunangoja parliament ikishafanya kazi yake na bill imepelekwa kwa president na president anafanya what he is expected to do by law. Okay? To sign the bill into law. Then we turn it and say, oh, president enact a law. There's nothing the president has done which is wrong. Okay. And I've looked at that law. There's no problem with that law.
All right.
Yeah. That law to protect.
Okay.
Lakini siku hizi it is fashionable for opposition.
Yeah.
Anything President William Ruto amefanya, they must paint it negatively.
Wakili, where you are seated there, last week, Dr. Fred Matiang'i was seated there, and he had a message for you. Alisema wakili Nyamori akija, mwambieni his president is one term.
Matiang'i.
Yeah.
Of all the people.
Kufikia sai yeye ndio anapeperusha bendera ya Jubilee, kwa hivyo kumaanisha kwamba ana uwezekano wa kumtoa rais.
Yeah, but yeye ndiye alikuwa minister for internal security ya Jubilee, so I don't have a problem with that. Yeye ndiye lead the there are the allegations about Yala. Yes. He was the minister for interior when bodies were picked from Yala swamp. He has never explained that to us. He was the minister of interior and education when the issue of the Roraka land happened. He has never explained that to us. So now you remember kuna huyu kijana alivaa green during riots in Nairobi, yenye polisi stepped on his skull. I mean, crushed his skull using boots. Okay. It was during Matiang'i's time. It was during Matiang'i's time, and policemen walked into nyumba in Nyalenda ya Baby Pendo, and they used their boot to crush the brain of a young child. And then Matiang'i was held a press conference the following day hapo police station, Central Police Station Kisumu, na akatuambia kama residents wa Kisumu that he has no apology. Okay, that the police were doing their work after killing Baby Pendo. So Matiang'i has a litany of things to answer. He's not, somebody else can talk about it, but he's not the one to talk about it.
Bwana Nyamori, tofauti ya serikali ya kina Matiang'i iliyopita na hii yenu iko wapi?
Matiang'i
yaliyofanyika katika serikali hiyo pia tunaona ilifanyika hivi majuzi.
I don't defend. Na nimesema kwa hii studio yenu previously that we need to reform our police force. We inherited a colonial structure in police force. And I think it was here niliwaambia one time nilienda kwa ofisi ya Kaindi became an deputy IG. But that time alikuwa PPO wa Kisumu. Na kaniambia ati mazee hizo vitu naniambia are very good, but hizi vitu tunafanya ndio tulifunzwa. Okay? So what I'm just trying to say is that Matiang'i cannot act so easy because he's out of the office holier than thou. He was worse than the current system.
Was he?
He was worse than. And then he was not listening to anybody. Okay? Arrogant.
Labda nikuulize Bwana Nyamori, I feel like katika kila hatua ya kimaisha unaangalia makosa ya mtu fulani alafu ukipata nafasi unarekebisha. Labda yale ambao waliofanya katika serikali yao mkaona kwamba ni mabaya. Hii serikali ambayo imeingia kufikia sasa, je, kuna hatua ambayo imechukua kuhakikisha kwamba wamerekebisha labda? Several. Unakumbuka this is the government in president aliappoint a former chief justice to into a task force on police reforms. Na
Maraga alifanya good job when you look at the report. And the president, the government is implementing that. Part of it include humanize. We treat policemen as animals, and we expect them to treat us as human beings.
All right.
Okay? Ukiona what we pay them, ukiona where they are living, ukiona the kind of training they are going through, and so on and so forth. So Maraga did a good thing. Interestingly, the same opposition activists, civil society, then ran to court to stop the government from implementing the Maraga report. Okay? Then this is the same government. This is the only government since independence where a president has come out. Nakasema, yes, we have a human rights problems in our police force, and yes, tumekuwa na killings, death, and injuries during riots, and I want it to stop. But beyond that, nimetengeneza a task force, a committee to look at, to develop a framework on how we can compensate. In human rights work, that's the first important, because Kenyatta never accepted that over 400 people were killed. I think it was MAD. MAD is in Standard or Nation?
Yeah.
MADO is in?
It is in Standard.
Yes.
Yes.
On 25th of October, MAD Kumbe was in Kisumu on 25th of October 1969. And it depicted what happened. How 400 plus people were killed in the streets of Kisumu just because people expressed discontent against the president. To date, no accountability for that. Okay? Moi, no accountability for the Wagala massacre. Okay? Now, Kibaki, no accountability for killings during post-election violence and other situations. Uhuru Kenyatta, no accountabilities for the killings in 2013, 2017, and so on and so forth. It is only this president. And I'm not saying he's an angel. Okay? Lakini President William Ruto is the first president to come out and say that, yes, we have a problem. And yes, we have to sort out this problem. And to begin, wacha tupatie, we get something for the victims and their families, at least to dignify them. And then the same civil society, the same opposition, wamekimbia kotini to stop that process.
So Wakili, you think Kenyans will vote for him again?
President William Ruto will be our president until 2032. I don't see anybody in the opposition who can defeat
Kalonzo
him.
Kalonzo
Hawezi. Kalonzo Hawezi defeat President William Ruto.
Do you feel kwamba the only person angemshinda rais ni Raila Odinga? Alivyosema yeye mwenyewe.
Competitor was Raila Odinga.
Definitely. The difference between Raila Odinga and President William Ruto was only 200,000 votes. And 200,000 votes, it means that that could tilt. Okay? With Raila Odinga out of the equation, and Raila Odinga moving out of the equation, leaving his supporters, working with President William Ruto. But apart from working with President William Ruto, President William Ruto has honored Raila Odinga, during trying to get treatment for him, but apart from that, ensuring that Raila was given a state burial. Supporters were Raila Odinga will vote for William Ruto. I don't see anybody who can defeat President William Ruto.
Alright, Wakili, naona tumebakia na kama dakika moja, but kama ulivyosema Wakili, come 2027 you are in the race.
Kwa 2027 wananchi watanipatia something to do. Na nimesema hata wakiniambia
naipenda hiyo, wananchi watakutafutia something to do. Governor, senator, MP?
I am qualified for all positions in Kenya. All positions. Umejua even women rep is not only for women. You can run for them.
Kwa hivyo bwana Nyamori, women rep pia wakikwambia usimame women rep.
If president was not, if they thought so, if President William Ruto was not running, then I could even consider that. But I'm still doing consultations. I am definitely going to announce. I'm sure I'll join you another time.
Please.